how does the physical landscape process information in terms of these biological constraints? So kind of tying in what Schrodinger had mentioned in terms of information and energy, I think that is what I'm trying to solve right now in the work that we're doing.
hmm So one of the things that you said on your social media that ties into this stuff is you said that biological structures behave as metamaterials, constraining electromagnetic, mechanical, and quantum fields, shaping how energy propagates, resonates, organizes everything from molecules to minds. So basically, what we're talking about here is if when we point a telescope out into the middle of the universe, energy is relatively unconstrained. Things are just moving around as they do according to physical principles, but life in some sense seems to be a structure of matter that changes or patterns the way that energy flows in a very, very different way. So what exactly were you talking about there? What is a metamaterial, and how do these things tie together?
Great. A question that I really want to dig into. So a metamaterial is materials in which pattern information, they have intrinsic properties of that matter itself that's going to guide how it forms and how it interacts with the environment. For example, refractive indexes for light. The brain itself can be viewed as a metamaterial, like the fats, the proteins that are within it. Any magnetic stimuli, for example, in transcranial magnetic stimulation, the fact that the brain is a metamaterial will allow for applied information to get altered in some way. We also see this in terms of permissivity, patterning of how certain materials get structured together. So it's just intrinsic patterning of that material because of the way that the atoms are organized
Mm-hmm.
that will give rise to how it interacts with the environment.
Okay, interesting. And there's something here that has to do with how biological systems pattern energy flow through themselves.
Hmm. Absolutely. So, like, if you take, let's take the myelin. The myelin, why is it like a jelly roll? Why is it not just a big sausage of fat that's across the
Yeah,
axon?
yeah.